Hi, this is Grandma Lori. Today's story is The Adventure of Sneaky Pete's Cousin. Sneaky Pete was enjoying the cooler weather in Mom's backyard. It was his favorite time of year, especially after the heat of summer in Texas, USA. He was excited because his cousin Sammy was coming over for tea. "Hey there, Pete," said Sammy. "How's it going?" Pete waved and said, "It's going well. How about you? Thanks for coming to visit." "I had to talk to somebody," Sammy said. "I had such a frightening experience earlier this week, and no one will believe me." Pete put his hand on his cousin's arm and said, "Let me get the tea and we'll have a long talk." Pete ran into the kitchen. Sammy got changed, as did Pete. The tea was finally ready. The boys were ready. "So, tell me what happened, Sammy," Pete said. "I can't believe it even happened. Living outside the city is usually so quiet, like here in Mom's backyard," said Sammy. "Just start at the beginning," Pete urged. Sammy paused and said, "It all started last Tuesday. I was visiting my favorite park. Humans in the park love giving us tasty treats every day, you know. That's the only thing I miss about living in the city," said Pete. "Afterward, it was time for me to go home," Sammy said. "I didn't realize it was getting darker earlier, so it was starting to get a little dark." "Did you get home okay?" asked Pete, worry in his voice. "That's the story," Sammy shuddered. "I went out of the park, but I went the wrong way. I was down by the street. The cars were going so fast. I didn't know what to do. I had to get to the other side of the road." Pete could just imagine the scene. "That's horrible. What did you do?" he asked. Sammy continued, "I went down to the curb and waited for traffic to ease up a bit. Finally, I saw a chance, so I ran for it. Biggest mistake in my life." "Oh no," said Pete. "What happened?" "Suddenly the cars started coming. I didn't know which way to turn. All I could do was run back and forth, back and forth. It was horrid," Sammy said. Pete looked at him. "It looks like you escaped though," he said. "Barely. I couldn't see a way out until a car with no top came toward me. I took the chance, jumped as high as I could, and landed on the side of the car." Pete looked so surprised when Sammy told him that. "The humans in the car were very nice. The lady helped me into the car. I was so scared," Sammy said. "Wasn't it weird being so close to humans like that?" asked Pete. "They were going toward my house, so when they stopped at a light close to the house, I jumped out. I tried to wave, but they didn't see me. The light had turned," Sammy said. "Oh my goodness, that was such an adventure," Pete said. "I'm so glad those humans came along and that you're safe and sound." Sammy said, "Me too. I'm never going by the street again. It's taking such a risk with your life." Pete and Sammy continued their conversation and drank more tea. Then it was time for Sammy to go home. "Be safe, Sammy. Go through the backyards on the way home. It's too dangerous to go by the street," Pete said as he gave Sammy a hug. "I will," said Sammy. "I'll pop by in another week or so and let you know how things are going." "I'd enjoy that," said Pete. Later, Sneaky Pete was sitting in his living room drinking tea. He had taken his nightly shower and was thinking about what Sammy said. Pete took a long drink of tea and said, "Silly squirrel." This has been Grandma Lori. I hope you enjoyed the story.